This is the second consecutive weekend that people across the United States march and rally to call for stopping anti-Asian hate and violence. Following the mass shooting in Atlanta on March the 16th, which left 6 women of Asian descent killed, and an increase of hate crimes against Asians here in New York City, people have gathered together to raise their voice and fight against racism. According to a survey by the Anti-Defamation League, as much as 17% of Asian Americans have experienced sexual harassment, stalking, physical threats, and other forms of harassment. This is up from 11% a year ago. In particular, 50% of Asian American respondents who were harassed said that was because of their race or ethnicity. 81% of Americans agreed that social media platforms should do more to combat online hate. To better tackle the surge of violence, the New York Police Department announced it would begin using undercover of officers as decoys to identify perpetrators of hate crimes and discourage anti-Asian acts. The city has experienced a rise in hate crimes against Asians since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. For 2020, the NYPD reported 28 hate crimes against Asians, up from 3 in 2019. And this year, Asians were targeted in 28 hate crimes just from January to March. Other U.S. cities such as Los Angeles and Oakland in California have also seen an increase in hate crimes targeting Asians, prompting people to form volunteer patrols in some communities.
White supremacy is a scourge on this earth, on this planet, and to all people. It needs to be dismantled in order for us to live healthier, happier, more protected lives. My parents are immigrants, and I've seen how they've been treated, and because of that experience, it makes me want to further advance protections and help for immigrants of this entire nation, especially given the fact that we are a nation of immigrants, and it's because white supremacy is built into these systems and these structures. It's a living, breathing thing, and that's why we need to put in policy and we need to break it down and rebuild it from the ground up. I think it's important for everyone to continue coming out, to continue speaking up, to not stay silent. When we're silent in these matters, we are complicit, so we can't let it get quiet. We need to continue to use our voices to continue supporting each and every one of us.
I want to send the message that Asian Americans do matter, that our voice is valuable, that we are visible, and that nobody can whitewash our story by saying things like, oh, I had a bad day, or I couldn't handle myself. No, we are visible and we are not objects for your consumption. I think the biggest thing is that just prejudice, honestly, is prejudice and this desire to treat other people like objects, treat people different from you as not your own flesh and blood.
You know, today was really about unity for me. So being biracial, specifically black and Asian, you know, there's a lot of, I guess, hate between the two communities, honestly, and it's really not, it doesn't help. You know, we need to unite together to fight the real enemy, which is the white terrorism in this country that's been so normalized to all of us.
I'm a teacher. I teach at the Flushing International High School, which is a school for recently arrived immigrant students, many of whom are Asian. I'd like people to know that Asians are our neighbors, Asians are our friends, Asians are my students. They're just as American as everybody else, and they deserve to be treated with respect, and they deserve safety. It goes very deep in America. Asians have been viewed as a model minority. They are just as much part of the American story, and you know, the racism that our country exhibits towards other groups, it's just as real for Asians as it is for blacks or Latinos or anybody else. White supremacy is alive in our culture, and it's something that we all have to work very hard to expunge.